One of the most important things you need to know as a taxpayer is which tax band you fall into. This will determine how much income tax you pay on your earnings above your personal allowance, which is the amount of income you do not have to pay tax on. In this section, we will explain how to check if you are in the 40p band or close to it, and what you can do about it. The 40p band, also known as the higher rate tax band, applies to taxable income between £50,271 and £125,140 in the current tax year, 2023 to 24. If your income is within this range, you will pay 40% tax on any earnings that are over the threshold of £50,270. For example, if your taxable income is £60,000, you will pay 40% tax on £9,730, £60,000 to £50,270, which is £3,892. To check if you are in the 40p band or close to it, you need to know your taxable income. This is your gross income, your total income before any deductions, minus your personal allowance and any other reliefs or allowances you are entitled to. The standard personal allowance for 2023 to 24 is £12,570, but it may be higher or lower depending on your circumstances. For instance, you may be able to claim marriage allowance or blind person's allowance, or your personal allowance may be reduced if your income is over £100,000. You can use an online calculator to estimate your taxable income and your income tax liability for the current tax year. Alternatively, you can look at your payslip or your P60, an annual statement of your earnings and tax deductions, if you are employed or get a pension. If you are self-employed or have other sources of income, such as savings, interest, or dividends, you will need to keep track of them and report them on your self-assessment tax return. If you find out that you are in the 40p band or close to it, there are some things you can do to reduce your tax bill. For example, you can make use of tax-efficient savings and investments, such as individual savings accounts, ISAs, pensions or venture capital trusts, VCTs, which allow you to earn interest or dividends without paying tax on them or get tax relief on your contributions. You can donate money to charity through gift aid, which allows the charity to claim back the basic rate tax on your donation and increases its value by 25%. You can also claim back the difference between the basic rate and the higher rate on your donation if you pay tax at 40% or above. You can transfer some of your income or assets to your spouse or civil partner if they pay tax at a lower rate than you. For example, you can transfer some of your savings, interest, or dividends to them if they have an unused personal allowance or basic rate band. You can also claim marriage allowance if your spouse or civil partner earns less than the personal allowance and you earn between £12,571 and £50,270. You can claim any expenses that are related to your work or business that are not reimbursed by your employer or covered by an exemption. For example, you can claim for travel costs, equipment costs, or professional fees that are necessary for your job or trade. These are some of the ways you can check if you are in the 40p band or close to it and what you can do about it. However, this is not an exhaustive list and there may be other options depending on your specific situation. You should always seek professional advice before making any decisions that affect your tax affairs. If you're one of the millions of taxpayers who will fall into the 40p band this year, you might be wondering how to reduce your taxable income and avoid paying more tax than you need to. In this section, I will share with you some of the legal ways you can save on tax, based on the information I found online. One of the most common ways to reduce your income tax is to pay into a pension scheme. Contributions to your employer's pension scheme or a personal pension can be made from your gross pay, before any tax is charged. The government will top up your pension with tax relief, giving you a free bonus for saving for retirement. You can use up to 100% of your earnings or £40,000, whichever is lower, as your annual allowance for pension contributions. This means that if you normally earn £60,000 and pay £10,000 into your pension, this will reduce your taxable income to £50,000 and save you £4,000 in tax. Another way to benefit from tax relief is to claim marriage allowance if you're married or in a civil partnership. Marriage allowance allows you to transfer 10% of your personal allowance, the amount of income you can earn tax-free, from the lower earning partner to the higher earner. This can potentially save you up to £250 in tax as a couple. To qualify, the lower earner must have an income below their personal allowance, £12,570 in 2021/22, and the higher earner must be a basic rate taxpayer. If you work from home, either as an employee or self-employed, you can also claim tax relief on some of your household bills, such as utilities, insurance, and council tax. You can either use HMRC's simplified flat rate method, which gives you a fixed amount of tax relief depending on how many hours per month you work from home, or you can calculate the actual proportion of your bills that are used for business purposes. For example, if you work 40 hours from home a month for 9 months, 60 hours for 2 months and 110 hours in 1 month, using the flat rate method you can claim £152 in tax relief for the year. You can also reduce your taxable income by making charitable donations through gift aid. Gift aid allows charities to claim an extra 25p for every £1 you give, at no extra cost to you. If you're a higher rate taxpayer, you can also claim back the difference between the basic rate and the higher rate of tax on your donation. For example, if you donate £100 to charity through gift aid, the charity gets £125 and you can claim back £25 in tax relief. There are also some tax perks for people who have a side hustle or a second income source. For instance, if you sell goods or services online through platforms like eBay or Etsy, you can use the trading allowance to earn up to £1,000 tax-free per year. If you rent out a room in your home through Airbnb or similar websites, you can use the rent-a-room scheme to earn up to £7,500 tax-free per year. However, these allowances cannot be used together with any other expenses or reliefs related to your income. These are just some of the ways you can reduce your taxable income and pay less tax in the UK. Of course, everyone's situation is different and there may be other options available depending on your circumstances. You should always seek professional advice before making any financial decisions or changes to your tax affairs.